elation when the Scholastic Book Fair came to school this week. You can't bring a bookstore into my classroom and not expect me to buy books. Also, I have no self-control, so there's that. I dropped some bucks on the Scholastic Book Fair, and I'm about to show you what I got. I'm so excited about this. This has been a pretty horrendous day, so we're gonna make it better by talking about books. So here's what I got at the Scholastic Book Fair. Yes, it's in my Hamilton bag. No, I didn't get the Hamilton bag at the Scholastic Book Fair. I got it when I went to go see Hamilton, but I put it in my Hamilton bag to hide my shame when I brought it into my house, when I have packed bookshelves behind me. Okay, anyway, let's just get to the books. Very excited about all of these books. I'm going to be honest, most of these books are probably going to go back onto my classroom bookshelf after I'm finished reading them. So I kind of don't feel that bad about buying them because they are going to go to a good cause later on down the line. But I am pretty pleased with what I was able to pick up at this year's Scholastic Book Fair. Let's start with the one on the very top, which is Randoms by David Liss. This one was one of those impulse buys. The rest of the books in here, I was like, I'm going to get these because like I've heard good things about them and I want to read them. This was one of the ones that I just saw on the shelf and I was just like, oh, this looks good. I want to read this. It's about a boy named Zeke Reynolds, who is a proud science fiction geek. So it's a dream come true when he is one of 4 preteens from Earth selected to spend a year on a space station. The Confederation of United Planets has handpicked 3 of Earth's most talented young people, and then there's Zeke. He's the random. He's way out of his league, but he just might. But I can't read, but just maybe his knowledge of science fiction will be the thing to save him, his friends, and the Earth itself. So this is like a space adventure, middle grade space adventure, which I am absolutely here for. I'm always here for the space adventures. You know, I find that they're not really that popular anymore at the Scholastic Book Fair, but they're on my list. I'm the science fiction geek that's going to be reading this for sure. Let's talk about the book that I got because of the other Scholastic book that I just read recently, which is Witchlings, The Golden Frog Games. This is the sequel to Witchlings that I just read recently on my Halloween vlog. Go check that out if you haven't watched it yet, because I talk about how amazing this book is and how I'm just like so in love with the characters and the world and just how sweet and cute it is. It's honestly, it's just like so lovely, and I'm really glad that I have now owned the sequel, so now I can keep them together on my shelf and I can read the second one, which I'm so excited to do. There's a third one. Oh my gosh, I just saw that there's a third one. Okay. I'm freaking out. There's this book series follows 3 witchlings who are young witches in this town known as Ravenskill. They were sorted into a coven known as Spares. Basically, they're the leftover witches after all of the other witches were sorted into their prestigious covens. And in the first book, they are set with an impossible task in order to save their magic and also save the town. Very fun read, and I'm really excited to see what the second book is about. I think it's about a magical tournament known as the Golden Frog Games, which seems to be some kind of like sporting event in this magical world, which I'm totally here for. And Claribel A. Ortega has now become one of my favorite middle grade authors. So I'm picking up anything that she writes, which is why I got my next book, which is called Frizzy. This is also written by Claribel A. Ortega. This is also illustrated by Rose. I'm gonna mess up her name. Busamra, I think. This is a graphic novel about a girl named Marlene who is into art, and she has a cool aunt named Ruby and hanging out with her friends, but she is struggling with her hair. And I love the story behind this. I'm very much about books that like help young women especially love themselves more and love their natural body and hair more, because it's kind of important that we support that, especially in girls where, you know, preteen girls, teenage girls can tend to be really mean about your appearance. It was that way for me too. And I'm always appreciative when authors point out ways that young girls can appreciate who they are, and who they are as their natural selves, and not have to worry about making themselves up to be and fit in a certain, box for other people. So this looks super cute, and I love Claribel A. Ortega. I'm always here for anything that she's written. So I'm excited to read Frizzy. Okay, this next book is a prequel to We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. This is Family of Liars. I read We Were Liars, gosh, it's got to be like a million years ago. But I really enjoyed it. I think I listened to it on audio, which was, I think, the better thing to do, because this book, at least the first book, was very like almost poetic in its writing. Like the writing was very like short and like choppy, but it came across really well in the audiobook. So I'm kind of excited to see where this one's going to go. I almost feel like I want to reread We Were Liars before I read this, just to like review myself, like the characters and like what I'm supposed to know. This is supposed to be the prequel, so I think maybe you don't need to know too much, because this is supposed to set up the context, I think, for the other book. Not sure, but it is a highly requested book in my school. So I feel like I need to be up in the know about this series and read the prequel. These last two are graphic novels, and they're so cute. They're like so pretty. And I don't actually know if I'm going to put them on my classroom bookshelf, because I kind of want to display them on my own bookshelf. And the first is Rainbow, Volume 1 by Sunny and Gloomy. I think that's their actual names. It probably is their pen names for this. But look at the art on this. This is so cute. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. This is about teenager Boo Meadows, has pink hair and a very vivid imagination. She has trouble separating dreams from the real world. In her daydreams, she dances beautifully at balls or fights monsters as a magical girl. In reality, she has a complicated home life, work stress, pressure at school, and a wicked crush on the girl of her dreams. When a new student, Mimi, arrives at school, Boo starts exploring a side of herself that she never considered before. As she grows closer to Mimi, it may finally be time for Boo to face reality. Who is the real Mimi? The one in her dreams, or the one in real life? I'm just so in love with the art in this. It's absolutely beautiful. And the characters look really fun, and the cover looks really fun. The title's really fun. I love it. I'm so here for it. I'm super excited about this. The last one is another graphic novel. And I know that there's a lot of people who have opinions about this graphic novel series. And I have not read this series ever. And I have not watched the Netflix TV show. I have read a novel by this author, though, and I didn't like it. But I have heard that this is her best work. So I think this is where I need to start if I'm going to go with Alice Osman's Heartstopper, Volume 1. That's right, I did it. I bought it. It was at the Scholastic Book Fair. I could have borrowed it from my friend, but then I was like, I could also just have a copy. I could also just have a copy and then read it when I'm ready to read it. Heartstopper. If you don't know what it's about, I'm pretty sure it's about two boys who fall in love, which can make this book very controversial in Florida schools, but not for me. So I'm going to read this and I'm going to love it. And hopefully, I'm going to get the rest of the series and I'll be all caught up on the know about the hype around this series. because I haven't read it yet. I have to read it now. And Rainbow Rowell has blurbed the cover. How can you? How can you not? Okay, so yeah, that's my haul. That's my Scholastic book haul. It's not a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 6 books. It's still a lot. And they're all brand new Scholastic Book Fair books. You know, I spent a pretty penny on the Scholastic Book Fair. Okay. And you know what? I don't feel bad about it. It supported our school. It gave kids access to books. And when I'm finished with them, more kids are probably going to have access to these books. So, you know, it's all for a good cause, and they're all awesome books, and I'm all so excited to read them. So if you have any thoughts about these books, or if you think there's a place I should start when it comes to any of these, please let me know down in the comments. If you are a teacher and you have a Scholastic Book Fair at your school, what do you think about it? Do you instantly go shopping the moment they show up? Because I don't understand how you cannot. How can you not go buy a bunch of books when they put a bookstore in your school for a week? I mean, come on. I mean, it literally took everything in me not to buy a single book every single day for the past 6 days. I hope you like this. I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for joining me and have a great day. Bye.